A little stink bug on my leg. Don't want to be on there, dude. Yeah. Okay, off you go. There, nice. Okay. It's spring!
No, it's not.
It was spring when I started making this video. And if spring doesn't make you want to frolic in a forest glade, then I have to ask, what will? And while you're frolicking, don't you want to hear the sweet jingling sound of some spring folly bells? Well, you're in luck, because this time we're making some May Day folly bell belts. You got something to say? On this channel, we like to take a bunch of old kit and make it nice. That old kit could be stuff that we already own, stuff that we buy secondhand, or things we make from scratch out of waste materials. My name is Daisy, and this is Nice Kit.
All right, let's go.
Hello. Oh, yeah, I can probably take my helmet off, eh? We hope. Okay. It's so nice. Yeah, getting to be spring.
No, it's not.
It's getting warm enough to commit fashion crimes. What are we gonna do today? So the plan is gonna be, I want to make some belts. I'm gonna make, hopefully, 2 belts that are made from scratch with some ribbons and some bells. And I would also like to make, oh, here comes a person, let them go past. Whoa, this camera is not flattering. Gonna have to do some airbrushing in post. So the other thing I want to make is, it's really an update to a belt that I already own, where I don't really like the band part of the belt. I just really like the buckle. So I'm gonna try update that as well. And I'm also gonna re-record this in case I don't in case I don't get that done. So the challenge is set. Let's see if I can do it. If you hear some drilling, I'm sorry, but they're fixing our roof and the show must go on. So I have these ribbons that I bought the other day. They're actually new. These are not upcycled. We're not upcycling them, but I thought they were really cute and really springy. And we put it over this very thick, gross grain, maybe it is, ribbon that's used for like the insides of hats as binding for millinery. Stitch those together like that. And then what I want to use up are some bells dashing through the snow. So these bells came off Christmas presents, and we're gonna stitch some around the belt. So it's gonna be like a cute little frolicky, jingly spring belt. I also have this that I got from a charity shop. It's a fake Alex belt. Alex made all of these belts that look like, I think, old airplane seat buckles. That's what they make me think of anyway. I don't know if airplanes used to be like this. I wasn't alive. It's a really cool buckle, right? But I don't like this stretchy elastic. I just don't think the elastic looks good. So I also went and got this cotton thick, what is this, ribbon. It's very, very stiff and thick. I think it would be perfect for this belt. So I'm going to replace this elastic with this. And I'm also going to put I don't know what it's called. Maybe I should look it up. Belt size adjuster attachment. Google. It's just called a belt adjuster, so that even without the elastic, we can still adjust the size of the belt, whether it wants to go around our waist or around our hips. We can do that. Let's get started.
Let's get started.
Let's get started. I suppose I should talk about the inspiration for these belts. In a lot of dance traditions around the world, dancers will wear bells or metallic beads, jingly jangly stuff to give a little bit of extra something something. Another sensory effect so that they sound cool while they dance cool. You see this with Morris dancing in the UK, Indian dancing. Those dancers wear bells around their ankles. For Morris dancing, they wear them around their knees. And spring is a time for dancing, especially with Morris dancing. One of the traditional times to do it is around May Day, which is coming up soon. So I wanted to create a springy belt with some folly bells on it so that I could do a little bit of frolicking. If you don't want to frolic in spring, then when do you want to frolic? I'm gonna get sewing really soon, but I thought I would explain where I'm at first. I have pinned all the way along. What I've done at one end is I've folded the base tape back on itself twice, and this will be the end that doesn't have the D-ring buckles on it. What I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna fold this back on itself twice, like so, and then fold that back on here, because this will be the end that when we have this going through the buckle, it will come out of the buckle this way, and so we want to have a nice side to look at. Okay, so the buckles. I have these D-rings. Actually, this is called a D-ring because it looks like a D. Get it? Also, you probably will have seen O-rings, which are circular like an O, and they are often used in very kind of retro belts. You need two of them so that you can put your belt through one and then fold it back out the other one to fasten. So yeah, these probably aren't D-rings because they're not shaped like a D, but that neural pathway is too strong for me to not call them D-rings. So that is what they are. And they'll go on this end, so we're gonna put them through like this, and then we're gonna fold this one back on itself, both the tape and the ribbon together, and then over the D-rings like that. So we'll have them nicely secured. And that's how we're gonna have a belt. Let's go. I'm changing the needle cause I slapped. Oh. Changing the needle cause I snapped everyone. Where'd you go, where'd you go? I'm changing the needle. Ah, yes.
I'm changing the needle.
I'm changing the needle.
Changing the needle doesn't seem right.
I gotta change the needle cause every single other one is broken.
Broke on my needle. Breaking them down.
Smashing the needles. Fucking them up. 1 to 10.
4.
Banh mi. We had that last week.
Okay.
Roll again.
9.
Katsu wrap.
Yeah?
You into that?
Yeah, could be.
Oh.
Okay. It's very funny. Not plugged in. First
that'll do it.
hurdle. Okay. Fuck. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay, let's see. Let's try this again. I have 2 belts, and I'm really stoked on them so far. They actually don't use any toot yet. I need to put on the bells, which are 1 toot element, and I also need to crochet on some loops to hold these flappy bits so that when they're around your waist you can have them sort of sit flush. But if you want to, you know, go flappy, that could be fine. That used to be kind of like a trend when I was at primary school, actually, was to have belts that were like cloth belts like this, and then have this like really long and flapping all over the show. I think it was like a skate thing maybe, and I was definitely not a skater because I was like 8. This is the other toot element. This is what I'm gonna use for at least this white one to create the loop. I'm going to stitch it in, and then I'm going to crochet it into a chain that will hold this, and I'm also going to use the same thread to thread the bells on with. This is from a studio sale from Margaret Howell. It's all waste materials that they didn't need anymore, so this all would have been once making some cool Margaret Howell knitwear, and they weren't making that style anymore, so they sell it off. So that's always something to look out for, to find some cool secondhand materials. And of course there's also dedicated deadstock shops popping up around London these days too, which are really cool. Alright, on to the next bit. The question on everyone's lips: will this domestic sewing machine be able to cope with this very thick material that I have to double over on itself to hide the seams? Let's find out. Well, if you got this far, thank you for watching my spring video in summer. Do you think that the jingly bell trend could catch on for next spring? If you want to watch my videos next spring, please subscribe. It will mean that you get notified of every new video that comes out. And I'm really gonna do my best to try and make these videos a little bit quicker. I was really happy with how all three belts turned out. The tan, orange and green one I actually gave to my sister-in-law for her birthday in May, and this is how she styled it. There'll be things here. Isn't that cool? Of the bell belt, I've kept the blue one, and I think it could really benefit from about a zillion more bells. 4 bells is cute, but it's not quite the heavy jingle that I was hoping for. So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna keep collecting bells as they come my way from Christmas presents or like those Easter lint bunnies, you know, that kind of thing. And I'll just keep stitching on bells forever. Alright, home dogglers, this has been going on long enough. This has been Nice Tut. Remember, it's nice to be nice. See you in the next video. Bye-bye!
Hey Dave,
Yeah.
the camera's waterproof. You can do it underwater once.
Yeah, okay.